Hello and welcome to another episode of Prophetcast. Today is September 7th, 2014, and as always, Prophetcast is brought to you by the Thought Prophets. The Thought Prophets is an atheist/secular group dedicated to the promotion of open discussion, continuous learning, skepticism, and science. You can check us out at thoughtprophets.com, follow us on Twitter at Prophetcast, join in our discussion on Facebook by simply searching for the Thought Prophets, find us on iTunes and Podbean, or go to podcast.thoughtprophets.com. Or you can find our entire backlog of episodes on YouTube by searching for Prophetcast. I'm Dave Curry, your game master and friendly DM for the following hour of Stuff and Things. And that beautiful face, and that beautiful piece of man meat who has finally decided to walk back into all of our lives.
I'm here.
Who's
over there?
The illustriously elusive Steve Hayes.
Hello.
Hello. Well, how's it going, man?
It's going pretty good, man. How about you?
Doing all right. It's been an experience, not having you do all this, and well, of course, I mean
an atheist experience.
An atheist experience. No, not that, but I don't know. I mean, school's going all right, and yeah, glad to finally have you back on here so that I can actually, feel important.
You're always important.
And so that you can have, you can talk for me because
right?
I don't talk for myself very well.
I have no problem interrupting you and telling you what you're about to say.
Right, exactly.
Pretty good at it, actually. I mean, skilled.
So, what's been going on with you, man? How are things on the home front?
Dude, they're pretty good. Doing pretty good, actually. They're doing a lot better now. I, taking some time off from the show was kind of nice. Not that the show is really that stressful because we just kind of talk about whatever we want. But it was nice to kind of because I kind of shut off my Twitter, not turned it off or whatever, but just didn't jump onto it. And my Facebook's disabled. Just because,
which I mean, isn't very much of a loss anyway. So.
No, and that's kind of part of it too. I mean, I just it was just another thing, So it was just one of those things I tried to remove. So it was nice to get rid of that kind of stuff, and it really kind of helped me, center my chi or focus or whatever you want
to. Your soul has been cleansed.
That's right. I did some soul cleansing.
Whatever that may mean.
That's right. Yes, exactly. Interpret that however you want. I cleansed my soul.
Right.
I did some fapping. How you like that? Could segue right away.
Wow.
Bam! I'm back. No. No, like I said, things are going pretty good. I've been trying to, as you know, David, I've been trying to blog more, and I suck at it. I suck horribly at it. I'm not very good at blogging. I'm not very good at talking either, clearly.
No, it's like you can't blog, you can't be your verbal skills are lacking. What's going on?
Right, I know. So I've got to get back into the the run of it.
Gotta get your elite skills up to date.
Right. Yeah.
There's that firmware update that you missed.
Yeah. No. I got a firmware update actually with some drugs, so that's kind of nice to help with the focus. You know what I mean? Get some ADD meds. So that's why if I sound a little strange or I'm kind of funky with my language, my meds are kind of wearing off nowish, so this is a perfect time for me to be talking.
Right, yeah. No. And well, I mean, because you weren't taking your meds for a while, but you finally were able to get the prescription back up. Yeah,
so it was. So I tried for a little while. I had this prescription, and then I wanted to do more of do some exercise and it's the healthy eating and stuff, and that was good to do exercise and things anyways, but the healthy eating and stuff didn't really help me with my focus, and I was kind of.
And also, well, I mean, doing that kind of thing is good for everybody, not just
good for you.
Good for everyone.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly, and that was something I needed to get into anyway, so totally. But it's really hard, it's hard to explain to people who don't have ADD what it's like to have ADD without the cliche, concept of ADD. There's a squirrel and go, it's kind of like that. I don't know. I don't want to do a sob story, but
No, anyways. No. I mean, I have the same problem also because I'm ADD and dyslexic as well. Dyslect. I don't even know how to fucking spell it.
You're dyslexic. That's what I'm told. Right?
Yeah, right. And so it is difficult to try and explain to people because, you know, especially going to school. I mean, you know, some of the professors are very understanding of my dyslexia, but when it's like, especially in my math class, it's fucking bothering me because I'll sit there and it's like the answer comes out to a negative and I end up putting a positive. Or
I thought you like would talk backwards. You know what I mean, like Yoda. You don't like.
No.
Oh, that would be cool if you would just write like Yoda naturally.
Yeah, but I mean, before any of this was really like, you know, even before ADD or anything like that, when it was still really new, it was hard for teachers and administration and even just, you know, doctors to recognize these things. And
We're
it's
still
much
learning more about
easier.
it.
Yeah, and it's much easier now to talk about it, but you know, it really is like, man, if I would have gotten some help for my ADD and dyslexia, you know, these problems with the way that my brain works earlier, things, you know,
might be different, right? They might not. They might be different. Who knows?
Well, you know, certain situations and things.
Yeah, totally. So, anyways, yeah, I started a blog and I totally grabbed this name I really liked called This Godless Life. So you can check out my blog. I have thisgodlesslife.com. I just haven't hooked it up to my blog yet. So you should check out that. So, anyways, yeah, you get enough.
Oh yeah, we can put that in the description. I completely forgot about that.
Down there, description. Anyway, so Kevin, fantastic Kevin, I absolutely love you, Kevin Stewart. He asked, what do you guys think about the evolution has no purpose hashtag? I just jumped on today. I've been really busy doing work outside and things all around the house for my fantastic wife. So
I may be more equipped to answer that than you finally.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you've got you actually have the package this time, huh?
No, I know, right? I don't know, Kev. I mean, I've seen a couple of tweets here and there about it, but I didn't really look into it. I'm looking at it now, but I mean, I see like Take That Darwin, which is kind of a satire account,
Right.
but it's like evolution has no purpose. That doesn't really make very much sense. I can only think that this is kind of one of those like, take that evolutionist or her snarky kind of tweet.
That's my guess too. I mean, I'm looking at just a real quick. I just put it in, and it looks like apparently one of these guys I follow say it was some kind of serious attempt to be like a genuine question in evolution, abiogenesis, Big Bang. I guess there was some kind of discussion. I don't know. I'm not really sure what's going on, to be honest. I don't know, Kev, if you want to throw something out, I'm more than happy to read.
A little more information.
Yeah. But unfortunately, I haven't really got a chance to it, so I definitely wanted to.
Just searching on Twitter, I've already probably found my favorite tweet from it. From Moonwalking Unicorn at Unicorn on the Moon.
Yeah!
Did creationists create the hashtag evolution has no purpose hashtag? Well, that's kind of weird. Just to make Take That Darwin's job easier. That's hilarious.
That guy's pretty good. Girl, whoever it is that does that.
Yeah,
they're pretty good at it.
I mean, if this is a serious hashtag, that it's the same thing as people who deny evolution. It's fucking stupid because it's like, look, if you're denying evolution, you're not denying just one piece of, you know, evidence or, you know, one piece of even science. You're dismissing all of these different, like,
concurring conclusions, right? All of these different pieces of science that all point to the same conclusion.
It's not just biology. It's not just, you know, history. It's not just all these different. It's all of them together. It's not just
geography
one.
points to it. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, there's, you know, astrology points to it. I think astrology, astronomy. I can remember which one. Sorry. Again, it's late. No. It's late. Drugs are wearing off. One of those two. The one with the sun signs. That's the one that's definitely true.
The one with the sun signs.
Yeah, I just read my thing today. It said something about being an Aquarius and something about something. I don't remember. Anyways, yeah, I mean, well,
take a look at that that tweet.
I was gonna say the same thing, yeah, and I was gonna say also, like, if it kind of like going on the same path you did, David, was if it's the whole, you know, evolution has no purpose, and they're coming from the whole, you know, what's the purpose? Yeah, exactly, Amanda. Evolution has no purpose. It's a nonsensical phrase. Does not compute.
Exactly.
Totally. I completely agree. That it's just it's also been brought up before. Like we've heard this before. This is nothing new. Like this whole purpose argument. It's like purpose is a concept that we construct. Purpose is whatever purpose we want it to be, and that's
So you mean like the comment where people will say like, where is evolution leading? Like there's some defined purpose for our evolution, and yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, if you look at it that way, that's just kind of a fact of evolution. Evolution doesn't have any kind of grand purpose or grand design.
The universe doesn't care about you that much. At all, actually.
It's not like Pokemon. There's no final evolution. It's just evolution continues.
Arguably, there's not even
living organisms.
Arguably, there's not even in Pokemon either, David, because they introduced Mega Evolution with some Mega Evolution stones. So I mean, there are even some of my favorite Pokemon that can Mega Evolve, which are even better. So
is Mega Evolution the actual final evolution, or
would you like me to go ahead and get rid of all of our current viewers, or would you like us to? I mean, I'm more than happy to bust into Pokemon.
Well,
I can invite Matthew back from. Remember in the beginning, that dude from Australia.
Oh right.
He can totally come back and talk with us if you want. I've got him on our friends list.
Maybe. I don't know. Well, if people are interested in that, actually, it's funny that we brought up Pokemon, because I was watching a video just the other day about how Pokemon actually advocates evolution in the way that the creatures, or the Pokemon, are designed, and their evolutions, like I think it was Pidgey and Fearow, how their claws their talons are like big so that they can dig into the ground and things like that. And
yes, they have a whole backstory. They tell you exactly what type of the habitat they live in, their paw prints or their footprints. I know all about Pokemon. I feel close to them. Anyways, so I'm gonna definitely check that out. But there was something, David, you wanted to talk about, and I definitely wanted to talk about with you. Was this thing called the FAPPENING?
Right. I mean, it's not like I wanted to talk about it.
Okay. No. Right. Well. Okay.
Everyone has been talking about it.
Yeah. I guess people have been talking about it again. I've obviously been out of the game for a little while, so I've kind of heard about this like a little bit, and I didn't honestly look too much more into it to be completely honest. So.
Yeah, I know that was kind of surprising that you didn't hear at least like the Celebgate, the Fappening was.
I heard a little bit about what happened, but I didn't realize. Excuse me, sorry. I didn't realize that was what the Fappening was. I had no idea that was what that was called.
Right.
So okay. But I heard a little bit about it. But so go ahead.
I guess yeah. For those of you who have been literally living under a rock, or just I mean. What was it now? A week ago? I can't even remember. It seems like the Fappening happened so long ago. But some hackers supposedly broke into Apple's iCloud, and they were able to download and steal information from all of these celebrity phones and iCloud accounts. And of course, there were like lewd pictures and selfies and nudes and things like that on there, and intimate videos between couples like Kate Upton and her husband and things like that. And so they got leaked onto, I think, Anonib, if I'm saying that right, Anonib, I don't know, some 4chan spin-off, and then it got onto 4chan, which is funny that I heard that it was originally leaked on Anonib. I'm totally saying that wrong, I know that I am, but 4chan is getting blamed. You're looking the
fool, it's great.
I know, but 4chan is getting blamed for all of it, so that's hilarious. But
well, that's a popular thing, so yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just completely blown up to where it's turned into this huge thing, because the majority of the celebrities that were hacked were women, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the big names were like Selena Gomez, Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence, yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence is the one that is getting the most heat off of all of this, obviously, because she's the hit star now. And shit, I don't know, but it was a lot of celebrities got hacked and released onto this, and people are all in a rage saying that it's a a huge invasion of privacy, and that
Totally is.
these people are committing a sex crime against these women because it was taken without their consent. There's the whole debate on the legitimacy of or legality of revenge porn, and whether or not those people should also be prosecuted as sex offenders and rapists and things like that. But
Interesting.
yeah, it's pretty amazing.
That's absolutely true. I mean, I can see the being perturbed about the invasion of privacy. That irrespective of male or female, that's just bullshit.
No, yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
And especially something that private, like taking pictures. There's private pictures. Everybody, I want to say everybody takes private pictures, but everybody has probably taken private pictures, especially this day and age. So what? There's pictures, and you have a body. Wow. But you know what I mean. But that stuff's private. That stuff's yours, and people hacking in and getting a hold of that, without permission. Again, like I said, irrespective.
Yeah, that is definitely a violation. I completely agree that it's one thing if these women were to take these photos and then put them out there, or take these videos and put them out there, like with Kim Kardashian and what
Paris Hilton.
Paris Hilton that did. It's like those were obvious tapes that were oops. Celebrity porn tapes leaked. Yeah, bullshit. You put that out there purposefully. That's why there's a fucking fee for it, and you're making money off of it.
Yeah, it was tweeted by your account. Weird.
Right, but I mean, I definitely agree that it is absolutely an invasion of privacy. But the thing that I'm kind of having a problem with is, that this situation is the thing that has, all of these super feminists and all, the FBI is getting involved in this shit, and, it's like this is the thing that is going to turn around, internet privacy and cloud privacy and everything like that. Like, this is the moment that was the gigantic travesty that's going to change the world, when there's been so many leaks before this, where legitimate leaks where it's not they purposely put this out there, and
yeah, there's been hacking the phone and things. Yeah, I remember hearing many cases.
Yeah. Scarlett Johansson, dude got 10 years for that shit.
Yeah.
Who hacked that? But I mean, I find it funny and interesting that there's such an outrage about this celebrity photo leak, and when where was the outrage when there was men leaks, that these male celebrities that had leaks out there? I can definitely see a kind of double standard about what's happening, because there's all of these people who are in this massive rage, yet when you look back at all of the instances of male celebrities that had their lewd photos hacked and leaked, it was just kind of you can find celebrity websites out there that have top 10 celebrity dick pics of 2013 and shit like that.
I'm on there frequently.
Right? And Perez Hilton, I mean, they originally put out some of the pictures from the FAPPENING. They originally, Perez Hilton is a celebrity website. They originally had some of the pictures loaded on there, but they took them down because of the backlash that they were getting, and because of the uproar that was happening over, the invasion of privacy and, the abuse that was being given to these women. But they still have pages that have the male celebrity leaks, and they have our top 10 penis pics and flicks thing.
I could see being upset about that, but for me, I think that, I think that's bullshit. And again, I'm definitely upset about the whole invasion of privacy for both. But I think for me, that what gets me a little bit more upset is that it happens with women all the time. It happens more with women than it does with men. And that, as much as I can stand by, I want to stand by and say it's bullshit that it happens to men. I just women. I went to a concert with a friend of mine, Jamie, and he It was awesome. By the way, it was like the Oddball Fest, and it was so fun. But Aziz, I can never remember his last name. Oh, but anyways, he was talking about just how often that like women get like hit on, and how often that sexual that they have horrible sexual stories, or horrible stories involving sexual.
We'll see, and that's the thing, though.
Yeah.
That's
involving
the
sexuality.
it's like. It's
a
travesty, and it's an invasion of privacy both ways. But when it happens to men, it's just kind of shrugged off as, oh, well, look at that, let's judge this guy's dick,
Well,
like, you rate this dick. And then when it happens to women,
I guess
I
guess I'd have questions with the dick pic one, though, real quick. Are the dick pics, I mean, I guess, are they taken the same way? Like, are they hacked and stolen, or are they pictures from, that they were sent out? Because as soon as you send them, I feel like then you've given up. At that point, it's like, okay, once you start sending them out, now you're starting to, like, it's almost like, again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're just giving permission to that one person, and maybe that's what I would hope would be the agreement. Maybe that's what it should be. But, once you start sending them, or if you post it on, like, Twitter or something like that, sorry. I mean, like, if you post it on a social network, then...
Yeah, you put it out there.
Fuck off, sorry.
Like, that's your fuck up.
But you know what I mean? Like I said, if it's between, like me and my wife or something, or, like, me and... I mean, I sent you plenty. You have plenty of pictures of my ass, actually. You and most of the prophets too. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like those, and I could care less if people see a picture of my ass, anyways. But you know what I mean? Like those are pictures that I give to my friends. And,
well, I mean, one instance that I was thinking of was this football player. Fuck, I can't remember his fucking name, but his ex-girlfriend got pissed off at him and released his nude selfies that they were sending between one another. This was like her version of revenge porn, where I guess that like he cheated on her or something, and she's like, oh, well, fuck you, I'm going to put out these pictures. And, he had to apologize for the NFL network because, his pictures were lewd, and it wasn't, proper of a, sports athlete to take these type of pictures. And, I mean, what I'm probably sounding like a complete asshole, but oh fucking well, I get to speak my opinion. You know what? If you disagree, let's fucking talk about it. Change my mind. But I mean, what I see is that if you're outraged and you think that what happened to all of these in this most recent leak, if you think that this was an outrage and a travesty, you should be equally as mortified and think that the instances that this has happened to men should be equally, a travesty. You can't have it both ways. You can't sit here and say, oh, this guy got his pictures leaked, let's judge his penis and keep them on your website. But when it happens to these women, oh, they're poor, victims, which I completely agree with. They are victims, but we can't have their content on here. We can't have a reference to this anymore, and you people should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, my issue again is that it happens more with women, and it's, I don't know, men are creepy.
Totally, but I mean,
men are fucking creepy. Yeah.
Totally, but I mean, still, that's still men being, they are being taken advantage of. When it happens in a leak like that, or their photos are stolen, they're still being violated, but it's not treated the same. And that's why, like, people will disagree with me when, I consider myself to have feminist views, but I consider myself to be a humanist first, where my feminism is a subset of my humanism, where I look at equality for both sexes, where if a violation happens for one, it should be just as equal a violation for the other.
Oh, well, definitely. I mean, that's just... Yeah, and I mean, I know that, like...
Where I don't put feminism before my humanism.
Sure. Basically. I mean, I put them on the same level. Like, I definitely identify with the feminism label. I mean, like, Amanda, for example, is, she identifies with the feminism label, and I mean, for what it is, it's similar. I feel it's similar to the atheism cause, and the idea that it's, one... It is definitely a subsection of just equal rights, and again, I'm just of the mindset, and from what I've seen, there's just so much shit against women that I nod, in agreement to like the things that happen with men. But for me, I would rather, especially as a white male, being as privileged as in the position that I am, I would like to stand up and fight for women more. But I'm with you. I think again, either whether it's male or female, I think that the invasion of privacy piece is definitely bullshit. And that's interesting. I said I got to look more into it. Then I think I will. I don't. Maybe
Yeah,
I'll read something about it, but.
It's interesting because it's definitely, you can definitely see a double standard when it comes down to it, and I don't want to sit here and be all like, oh, poor women, us men, we should be on the same, we can be sexual victims just as much as women, because that's not true. But
right. Well, sure. I think.
If you really want equality and you really want, to be equal between the sexes, you should be just as outraged when it happens to a man as when it happens to a woman. That's all I'm trying to say. And
again, I think that many people, I think we can all, at least not we all, there's definitely, obviously not all, but most of the people that we speak with can definitely agree with that. I think it's an interesting thing that Amanda brings up I didn't really think about, and it's something I'll definitely write down or take a look at, keep in perspective, I suppose, is she says it's also important to point out that women of color have had their nudes leaked just as frequently in the past and received literally no attention whatsoever. So it's interesting. Like some of the people you named, I realized like, oh, you named a bunch of white people, and so that's really interesting. Yeah, I didn't think I missed that when you initially said that. So, and again, I haven't looked much into it because apparently, according to David, I've been living under a rock, so I haven't seen much about it. So. Sorry, everyone. My bad. But no, that's a really interesting point.
That is really interesting.
Yeah, like I said, I'm definitely going to look more into that, and I'm going to go talk to you in the other room about it more, I think. So I'm sorry for keep hitting my keyboard. I moved my machine and stuff around.
I know, it's kind of loud making bumps.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm getting so excited I'm talking, and I just keep hitting it and slamming it. I'm so sorry, guys.
Right.
But, yeah, so speaking of, while I'm talking about my wife, which you can check her stuff out at humanism.com, and the Godless Family on Tuesdays. She also says, from when we were talking about evolution, she just totally back to initial conversations. David, would you like to read this, I suppose? I can keep jumping in.
I suppose.
Go ahead.
But, I mean, Kevin has a more relevant question to what we're
talking about. I just saw his come up.
Right, I know. Way to go, man. Jeez. But, Amanda, going back to our evolution discussion, wouldn't the purpose of evolution be continuous survival of species? Things evolve based on environmental and intrinsic factors that determine survival, or no, intrinsic? What I said
intrinsic,
wrong, didn't I? Intrinsic factors. No, absolutely. That's exactly what evolution is. I mean, there's no grand purpose. There's no final evolution. If we change, to like if we were to take half the planet population and put them onto a different world that was similar to Earth, and then came back to them, like millions of years later, they would probably evolve differently than the humans that were on Earth.
Yeah, well, it'll be different environmental conditions, and just like I said, there's different conditions. I mean, it's it's natural selection, it's how that stuff kind of works. So definitely, great point there, Amanda. So yeah, there's a typo, Kevin. Oh, and I'm about to click on it, point it out to everybody here. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead, David. You can take this one again. I like talking. I might have to give this mic back to Dex here soon. So, anyway.
There it is. There's the typo. Yeah. Getting back to making myself look like a jerk. Kevin wants to add, we as men have to be involved in women's rights, but it's up to women to take what should rightfully be theirs. To accept it as a gift is demeaning in itself. Wait, what? We have men have to be involved in women's rights, but it's up to women to take what should.
To say, basically, I think if I understand you, Kevin, he's basically saying that it shouldn't be something that men give to women. It's just that it's something that women naturally have. That's what they.
Oh, women's rights. Right.
Yeah, exactly. It's something that it's about women, and and it shouldn't be just like men giving these women these rights. Like a gift or a handout kind of thing.
No, absolutely.
You shouldn't be deemed because men say it's so. That's why they get these rights.
Absolutely, and I mean that's really where I have a problem putting my feminism before my humanism, because that actually is a really good point, Kevin. You're kind of helping me define myself here. Because thinking in it that way, where you have to take your rights, where you have to take them from the other sex, or you have to earn them from the other sex, is not really doing yourself a favor, where you have these rights already as a fucking human being. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. I should have just as much reproductive rights as a woman. There shouldn't be any difference.
Minus the fact that you can't carry a baby, and that's something that actually literally takes your nutrients and things.
But still, I mean, I don't want my sexual, reproductive rights to be limited or to be taken away. So why would we want to do that to the opposite sex? Why would we want to take away their reproductive rights when I don't want mine to be taken away as a man?
Well, because I'm a white male and I have a penis, and I don't want anybody else to, touch my penis, so I need to touch everybody else's stuff. I need to be in charge of it.
I don't want you touching my penis anymore.
Anymore. Note that he says anymore. So Heretic Woman. Hi, Heretic Woman.
Hi.
I just recently started following you. You are awesome. And if you're not following her, follow her. She says, I don't know if I would see it as a gift, but but relinquishing back what should have been ours in the first place, in my opinion. In her opinion, not my opinion. That was as Heretic Woman, but without the screw up part.
You could have. It's in her opinion.
In her opinion, yes.
Yeah.
That's what would have been said. It said my opinion with the M.
Yeah, and see, Kevin totally agrees with me on what I was saying about his question there. No, yeah, I completely agree, and it's funny because there has been and there still is a lot of misogyny in the world, and a lot of that there is and there has been.
No, there's I get there's a little bit. Yeah, go ahead.
Just a little, and it does kind
I'll
of
have to Google it, but yeah, probably.
seem like with the whole male-dominated society, and the way that, especially the last over 2,000 years of male-dominated religion been controlling people, polluting their minds, and telling them that women are inferior, that definitely has
Yeah, they were created from our rib. Of course,
right.
We were made from dust.
They're
relinquishing rib. Go ahead.
Right. It is relinquishing to a point, but I still agree. It shouldn't really be like a gift that men are giving to, giving back to women. It's even to look at it that way, that still isn't really doing any favors, because you're still saying that men were dominant and they're relinquishing this to us, or they're giving it back to us.
There seems to be a battle going on.
I know.
Amanda, or perhaps some of the viewers are not sure if Kevin agrees with David or Heretic Woman. Dun dun dun!
I'm just going to assume Kevin agrees with me because we are both male.
Right,
and,
of course. Right.
Wow.
And why wouldn't you want to agree with David? I mean, honestly, it's David.
I know. Look at my beautifully shaven face.
I thought you were going to say ashamed face, but that shaven face also works. That's true.
Totally. Yeah, pretty much.
Totes. Nice. So, wow, that was interesting. Yeah, like I said, I've got a lot obviously to look at, and definitely, like I said, thanks again, Amanda, for that that perspective. I never really, I probably wouldn't have thought about that. I definitely missed the whole fact that you said a bunch of white people are the ones that's complaining about it. So, or not complaining. I mean, like I said, obviously, it's a valid concern.
There's a list of celebrities, and I may just
look up more. So. We've been going for 35 minutes. Yeah, we have a couple of topics in here that are.
I know, or we can keep talking about feminism and misogyny.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. Is eventually, I feel like I've done pretty good about my views so far, but I feel like sooner or later I'm going to slip up and say something stupid, and I'm just going to get punched later.
Well, I mean, I'm taking care of all the stupid comments for you. So.
Fair enough. In all honesty, you are.
Especially on this topic.
Hand over fist. I know what I mean. Right?
I know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. well, I mean, speaking of stupid comments, I mean, we might as well. I'll jump into this, and if again, Q&A, jump in the Q&A if you want to totally take us off topic. I'm happy to talk what you guys want to talk about. But speaking of stupid things, there's a lot of stupid things I've read about lately, and I figured maybe we can jump into a couple of them.
Well,
maybe a high-level overview.
Which stupid thing do you want to talk about?
Let's first talk about. I really like the Raw Story website, so let's talk about Raw Story because they usually do a pretty good job about checking out their stuff. But you should still obviously always check their sources anyways. But the Texas pastor demands public libraries purge vampire books because he thinks it's dangerous for kids.
Right. Well, I mean, did you want to just read over the notes here so that I can stop talking and try to calculate myself?
You have notes, sure. Wow.
I know.
Yeah, sure.
I'm telling you. I mean, I got productive.
Wow. You're productive production now. Holy shit. Yep. This is nice. I got to come back. I don't have to do much. I just got to sit here, look pretty, sound good. You know what I mean? You guys are welcome.
You just got to read.
That's the unfortunate part. I'm not always the greatest at that, as you heard. But yeah. So basically, I guess on September 1st, a story came out about a pastor in Cleveland, Texas, by the name of Philip Missick, who is the latest in a stream of pastors calling for the books of the occult, specifically vampires, demons, and other magical beings. Oh, I see where this is going. Right. To be removed from our public libraries. I feel like this has been done before. Missick said in an interview with KTRK, I don't know what the hell that is, the local news station. Oh, the local news station.
You just got to keep reading, man.
This is dark. There's a sexual element. You have creatures that aren't human. I think it's dangerous for our kids.
Dun, dun, dun.
Let's get dangerous.
Well, arguably, Twilight is dangerous for our kids.
Well, it was dangerous for adults too, and even you know what I mean. Like it's just like it tricks people. Let me just say that I got tricked into going to see this stupid
I totally
show.
thought that vampires were sparkly and cool.
Dude, that was so disappointing. Anyways, we can get back to that story later. Yeah.
Sure.
But anyways, I mean, you can kind of see. I kind of see where this is going. I see you have some awesome, crazy notes in there. But yeah, apparently there's about 75 books they claim in the library that's that they want to include in this occult. I feel like I'm saying that wrong. Occult. But including the Twilight series, Harry Potter, things of that nature, right?
That books of the occult and demonic. Room? What the fuck? Wow. Okay, that's a typo. Should be shut down, and these books be purged from the shelves, and that public funds would no longer be used to purchase such material, or at least require parents to check them out for their children.
Yes. Yes, it's the parents. Make the parents do it because they couldn't possibly go online and see anything worse than this online.
No, not at all.
But anyways, not to mention, I'm sorry, but the books that they want to, you know what I mean? It's fantasy.
Well, also, but you're getting off track, so I'm just going to start reading.
Well, okay, I just wanted to say with Heretic Woman says, does he think vampirism is contagious? I think he might, and it was at one point. There was a lot of people that, I couldn't tell the difference between goth and vampire, you know what I mean?
Oh, right. They're just stupid vampire kids.
Right? Stupid vampire kids.
Vampire kids.
So, anyways. Go ahead. I did want to before. Also, one other thing. It's from this dude's from his name, or another pastor named Reverend James Holt. He's from Cornerstone Church, which is the church that's literally right at the end of my street, which was kind of crazy to hear about. So I'm actually going to, just as a side note, I'm going to go talk to them. I'm going to see if they actually kind of agree with this, or if they're in on the occult. I'm saying that wrong, I'm sure.
No, it's the occult.
I'm saying it right. You guys are welcome.
But, no, yeah, exactly. Another pastor, Reverend James Holt, he signed the petition also, but he said that he doesn't want the books to be completely purged, but instead let the parents suffer the consequences of letting their children read this filth. He said in a quote that the word censorship is not an ugly word. If you don't censor what your children see, hear, and read, then guess what? Your child is going to be spending a lot of time with Pastor Holt later on in life dealing with twisted up and torn up lives. And he continued to spout, he continued to spout his bullshit by saying, if you allow your children to digest all of the negativity in the world, don't stand there with your hands on your hips. wondering where things went wrong.
That's what I do when my life's in shambles. This past 3 weeks when I was just taking care of myself, that's what I did. I just stood there in a mirror with my arms on my hips, my hands on my hips, just
Wondering
looking.
what went wrong.
What went wrong? It must
But,
be because I don't have Jesus.
But he also says that it's our job as parents to protect them, even when it comes to literature and art. So we have to censor literature and art from our children because they might be exposed to different ideas and different things. We don't want them to be exposed.
I don't want that, not at all. You know what I mean? I want my kids to think what I want them to think. That's what Amanda and I do. We train them. We have a book coming out soon, How to Train Your Kids.
How to train up your child.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
It's going to be nice. Yeah, How to Train Them and Not Eat Them. The Atheist Manual.
Exactly.
For raising kids.
And so, I mean, the head librarian for the Cleveland City Council, for the head librarian, for the city, I guess, sent a letter to this Missick guy and explained that the Cleveland City Council had adopted an ordinance called the Library Bill of Rights, which prohibits the library from removing books or other content because of partisan or doctrinal disapproval. And of course his response was, I understand they have a right to these books, but I also have a right to complain about them. But since they have an ordinance, that means that you really do have to go through the petition and you have to get, this many signatures so that you can get this ordinance taken care of. It's not just a matter of, I want you to remove these books. You better do it.
I'm glad. Well, I mean, I'm not glad I'm glad there's a process in place for people for that to happen. That's good that we have that, but that's ridiculous that people are signing this. I mean,
I know it's ridiculous, and I mean, if he really wants to get down to it, I mean, if we're gonna start, banning books that have the occult and have, special magical beings, and if they have sexual references, the first book that should be taken out of any library is the Bible.
Right? That has tons of magical beings. Right in the beginning, God created the earth, and as soon as they start out, God, right in the back. I mean, first word is.
Well, okay, seriously, moving past Genesis. I mean, there's so much, got to get over that, man.
Okay, this is the fourth word. There's beginning.
So much more in the book that can be fucked with. But, I mean, there's so much gruesome violence, and gratuitous sex, and all sorts of shit in the Bible that, is definitely not, suited for children whatsoever.
No. Instead of taking... And, yes, here, have sex with my daughters instead of raping these angels. Please. Take my daughters. Anyways,
and like Kevin again here says, since Lot fucked both of his daughters, could we please accept that the Bible should be placed on the list of unsuitable material? Yes, absolutely. I love how they stop in the children's Bibles and things like that, how they don't mention what happened to Lot and his daughters.
Yep.
Very interesting.
Yep. Which is Genesis 19:30-36, by the way.
Take a look.
Yeah. Oh, that was the one, right? This is the one where he sleeps, where Lot sleeps with his daughters.
Well,
anyways.
Well, I mean, you could arguably, the story is, of course, because women are such, material of the devil, his daughters get Lot so fucking blacked out drunk that he doesn't even realize that 2 nights in a row he's fucking each of his daughters. And the reason that they did this is because their village was destroyed, Sodom and Gomorrah, whatever. There were no more men, and their fiancés were there and were killed also, and so they were worried about making babies. And the only person that they could make babies with, because they were living in a fucking cave, was their father. So what do? Get him blackout drunk. Actually, Dark Matter 25 has a great skit on that. It's fucking amazing.
Fantastic. Yeah. Actually, so Amanda says, and this is kind of interesting. I think David, you ran across this. Someone did. I think it was you. To train up a child is actually one of those religious discipline technique ones where actually, yeah, we talked about it in a previous episode where
yeah, because there's been cases all across the country where
people
these parents have killed their children under the doctrine, following that book. And I mean, what we talked about on our show, I think it was one of our early episodes. But
it was. I couldn't tell you which one. Make it sure to go back and listen to them all.
We had a case here in Washington where the parents, they abused their adopted daughter, and because she was disobedient, they fucking beat her and made her sleep outside in the cold, and it's Washington.
Well,
Washington. It gets cold at night and it fucking rains a lot.
Well, I make my wife do that when she's disobedient. I make her go outside and sleep outside. I mean,
with the dogs.
Yeah, of course. That's, I mean, right? No. No.
So are we gonna start talking about feminism and misogyny again?
Right. Hey, I'm
Timothy too.
I'm only joking. Right. Yeah. I love bringing up Timothy. It's always like I don't like. Obviously not for real, but it's just so ridiculous. Anyways,
but I mean, to move on from this, I mean, if we just want to wrap up like a final thought.
Oh, not that kind.
Final thought. You can go first if you like. Please don't box anymore.
Oh no, I was actually just gonna jump into it because we were talking about ridiculous's. I was totally gonna segue into the next.
Well, I mean,
but go ahead and wrap it up.
Wrap up on that. I mean, I really think that it's ridiculous that they're wanting to ban books because I mean banning books goes along with dictatorships and goes along with theocracies, and if we allow these people to ban these books from public schools, then we are literally bending to their religious will, and it's sickening that they wouldn't even take into account that the content of their own religious book, and because it's the Word of God, it doesn't matter if it has all of the same content as the books that they are trying to ban.
Arguably, they probably haven't read their own book, to be honest. So I mean, come on now.
But this is a pastor, though.
It's just I'm a minister. I got my card and stuff upstairs and my certificate and everything. But I've actually read the Bible, so that's very different, I suppose. I don't know. I mean, we've read a lot. We've talked to a lot of people that, that follow the word of God that have never read their entire Bible. So I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I'm with you there, and that's just it's just it. We have a couple of stories that we're probably not going to get to all of them, but the common theme here that we had was basically these just the ridiculous what ridiculous beliefs do to people, like what it makes them do, and just why it's so important to really take your time to think and critically analyze your beliefs, and try to be as intellectually honest with yourself as you can. I don't know is an okay answer, and if you get to I don't know, go investigate more. You know what I mean? Right. Try to learn more about it. So it's just, anyways, like I said, that was one of the things. Like when we were going through our stories, I just wanted to throw that out there with some of these guys. We may put these links inside the description down there, but it was just the one common thing that we had was just this. I mean,
ignorance and the beliefs that religion
brings exactly, and then it not only just brings but demands that we respect, or what I mean, just what people hide behind, or what evil things can hide behind the face of religion. You have that front of religion being so good and lovey, and makes
evil
people
that
do good
hides
things.
behind the God-fearing, Jesus-loving parents and people.
Right. Something like that. Exactly.
Like, the love that Jesus brings to these people when they disown, their gay son and beat the love of Jesus.
I was going to say, that sounds like a good segue into the next thing. That definitely I wanted to get out there for some people to listen to. So go for it.
Right. So on August 28th, a video was posted onto YouTube about, a God-fearing Georgia family who confronted their gay son and verbally and physically attacked him, and called him a disgrace and a queer. The video, which made the front page of Reddit, was shot during an altercation where a 20-year-old Daniel, between his stepmother, Daniel, his father, and his grandmother, And during the confrontation, Daniel, his mom starts out by saying, things like, you know that I love you, and I've known from since you were a little boy that, dude, stop. You're okay. Calm down.
Sorry.
I can hear you really well there. That like she admitted that she knew that he was gay from the time that he was like a young boy, and of course he proceeds to tell her it's like, so then it's not a choice. Then it's not a choice, and she proceeds to say that you can deny it all you want to, but I believe in the Word of God, and God creates nobody that way, and it's a path that you have chosen. After that, she continued to say that he would need to move out, and that they were no longer going to support him or didn't want to be involved with him at all if he continued this lifestyle. And to say shit like, since you have chosen that path, we will not support you any longer. You will need to move out and find whatever you can to live and do what you want, because I will not let people believe that I condone what you do.
This is actually absolutely disgusting. Like, I'm really glad that my little brother didn't have to deal with this, that kind of thing. But that it says, I see a couple notes further down in here, kind of like you mentioned above, that they called him a disgrace, and they called him, you're a damn queer. You can hear it in the video that he recorded.
Near the end of the video, his father gets into the confrontation and starts calling him a disgrace, and you're a damn queer, and starts beating him, and his stepmother and his father get involved in beating him up, while his grandmother is just like cheering in the background of this video.
Right.
And
it's disgusting.
Yeah, it's absolutely fucking disgusting that these people can sit here and they can say, we love you and we want the best for you, but you're a damn queer, get the fuck out of my house, and proceed to beat someone. And we're supposed to sit here and respect that kind of belief. We're supposed to sit here and say, yeah, you can put, you love them and then you can kick their ass. That's no problem. That's your belief. You're allowed to do that.
Yeah, well, I mean, exactly. And not to mention just the whole concept of, they're letting this 2,000-year-old book, dictate their relationship with their son. Like, they're not even listening to their son, especially when, just as you said and as the mother said, that she knew when since they were little. I mean, same thing again with my little brother. I can relate to that. My little brother, it was not a surprise when he came out. It was like, we figured that out a long time ago. But I mean,
like James, we always knew.
Yeah. So it's like I can relate to that, but I just just to like this whole the whole choice thing, that's what I've heard from my parents. It's like, it's a choice, and the fact again, it's just they're not willing to sit down and talk and listen to his side, and they all because their book says that being homosexual is an abomination, semicolon, you should kill them, which they always fail to mention that next part. I always love that.
Well, wasn't there a state senator who said something like it should be up to the districts whether or not they should legally be able to stone gays or something?
I hope not. I hope no fucking anyone in Congress fucking said that.
Up to the, I'm pretty sure that it was like a month or two ago that there was some senator or some House member or something that was like, I'm not saying that I would be for it, but in the Bible it does say that we should, stone gays, and it's a crime, and we should, leave it up to the people to decide what kind of punishment should be.
I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens.
Yeah. I'm not saying we should stone gays.
Well, we should stone gays. Well, we're trying in Washington. I mean, we legalized marijuana and same-sex marriage, so we pretty much got them both right on par. So
now we can get the gays stoned.
That's right. We can stone the gays.
Ah.
Hey. Hey. So we have 6 minutes before an hour, and you want to know what's crazy? In this episode, I can't believe this. Even just listening to the past one, we haven't mentioned Paul from Cranify Me yet.
Dude.
Not once yet have we mentioned Paul from Cranify Me in this entire episode.
What the fuck, man?
Oh, sorry. I'm excited because we finally started talking with Paul, or I started talking with Paul, and he has this script for us. I'm really excited to start doing with him. So, yeah, we're gonna start. We're gonna find us
It'd be interesting.
You'll find David on another episode. You'll find me on one of his episodes here lately, or soon. To come.
Right.
So.
No, yeah, his most latest episode. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, episode 31.
Talk about that. Yeah.
I figured we'd bring it up in promotions and pimpins.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we only have
Go for it. That's seriously.
So,
I'll allow it.
Yeah, we can get into promotions here. Since I've been a little bit more active than you have, I have more promotions than.
Your face has.
But yeah, I mean, been teasing about it for a little while, and finally, Paul, he actually put out a skit that I was involved in with Jake Farwharton and Candace, of previous Prophetcast fame, and she has her blog also, and Jake, of course, has his massive show. But yeah, we did a skit, and it has finally been released. If you want to hear some raunchy shit, definitely go and check it out.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was funny.
And if you are used to raunchy shit and you just want to hear me do a horrible accent, check it out also at granifyme.com.
They're listening to this show. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they're good with the content that was on Paul's.
Well, I know. It's pretty amazing. I am very, very pleased with the editing that Paul put into that, and I'm very impressed.
It was good. Fun.
With what he was having to work with. I'm very impressed with the way that it came out. Another update for me actually is that on the 18th, Thursday the 18th, I'm actually going to be guest co-hosting on Gamma's show, Atheist Hangouts. Just confirmed it a few days ago, but I don't know who the fuck we're talking to or what we're doing, but it should be fun.
It's good. He's finally going to actually get someone on that's worth talking with, you know what I mean?
Oh, well, dude,
he'll be able to keep him on track.
He had Creationist Cat on. Okay, that's
he did. That was pretty cool.
Talking to. I would love to talk to Creationist Cat and pick his furry little brain, but
he's a smart cat. You know what I mean? Very smart.
Well, he was zapped by God through the internet. I mean, come on.
Yeah, of course. You're gonna have to watch the show to know more. Nice.
Totally.
I like to take the drink, Senator.
I know. Let me just reach off the camera here.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you said that. I was going to actually ask you about that because I saw that on the tweet and was like, hell yes, that's awesome. Like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
We're branching out. We're invading other people's shows.
I know, right?
We're helping them grow. I doubt that, but we're not helping them grow. But yeah, that's awesome. No, that's freaking cool. Yeah, you got any more pimpins? Are you blogging or doing anything? Anything exciting?
No, dude. I don't got time for blogging. I have to dedicate like 4 to 5 hours a night to schooling now.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I really got to get more organized on that.
I'm with you. I know how that goes. When I did schooling, it was ridiculous. Back in my day. No, I have a 7-year degree. They call those people doctors. You're welcome to call me a doctor.
Well, a 7-year degree that was for originally
a Bachelor of Science in Computer Information Systems.
A 4-year degree that took you 7.
It was supposed to be a 3-year degree, but whatever. Anyways, yeah. Nice. You got any more pimpins? Anybody else you want to pimp out?
I really don't think so. Shit. I mean, if you're interested, you could check out our last show, or my last show, with Jonathan Tweet. We talked about his book, Catching, or Grandmother Fish. Catching Grandmother Fish was the name of the episode. Yeah, check out his book. I mean, it's like finally getting finalized, and everything is good to go on that. I don't know, man. I feel weird always singling out people to pimp out. Yeah. If you want some cool people to follow, go to our Twitter at Prophetcast and just follow everyone that we follow and follow all of our followers. They deserve some love, damn it. Follow.
Follow. I'm gonna holla at you. I'm gonna holla at you. Dave Chappelle. Anyways, nice. All right. Well, I mean, I've got a few people. a few things I want to pimp out. Like I said, check out my blog, which again, I'm kind of changing things around based on a brief conversation or an attempt at writing my thoughts down. I might just record and then write an overview of what I record myself talking about. But I definitely want you guys to check out humanismom.com. Check out my wife's blog. It's pretty awesome. Has some great advice and some great things about dealing with kids. We have 3 kids, a 6-year-old, 3-year-old, and a 1.5, almost 2-year-old. And it's crazy. So she has some fantastic stuff. You can check out her show, Godless Family, Tuesday nights at 6:30 our time, Pacific time. So check that out. And of course, you already mentioned Gamma. And again, did we mention Paul from Cranify Me? I don't know if we mentioned Paul from Cranify Me. I think we did. Paul from Cranify Me.
We did. Oh, don't forget about Wesley.
And Wesley, yes.
And check out Sam also.
Yeah, Sam at Atheist on Air.
Yeah, dude.
Atheist on Air. So that stuff's always badass. Yeah, definitely check that stuff out. Yeah, I mean, again, we could go down the list of people, but I'm not going to go down that. So definitely.
But seriously, just go and check out our followers and the people that we follow. Yeah,
and the people we talk to mostly. There's a lot of people that we try to interact with. So yeah, so right on. Well,
Kevin in his form.
Yo, Kevin, of course.
Form, yeah.
Holy flying spaghetti monster. How do we forget Kevin? Yeah, definitely follow Kevin. Kevin actually is awesome. What's really cool about Kevin is he has a website that he aggregates a bunch of shows and podcasts. So if you're really interested to find out, find some other shows and stuff, go follow Kevin, and he pimps out a bunch of people almost every single day. So I think actually, yeah, I mean, see it all the time. It might be every day. It might be 6 times a day. He might just promote me 6 or 7 times a day, which I don't blame him, especially now that I'm back.
I know, right? Space. Yeah, can't blame.
Yeah, no. But nice. All right. Well, like I said, I'm feeling good. Oh, we're a minute over.
We are a minute over.
We're a minute over. Oh shit. So, sweet. Well, is there anything else you got to throw down?
I don't think so. I mean, check us out at
ThoughtProphets.com.
Check out ThoughtProphets.com. You can follow us on Twitter at Prophetcast. My Twitter is at DaveTheist, and Steve's is at Steve Hayes.
Yeah.
You can check us out on Podbean and iTunes. And recently, I just got a message that we're on Stitcher, supposedly.
We are on Stitcher.
But you have to search for Prophetcast on Stitcher.
Yeah.
And check out our Facebook, Thought Prophets. And why don't you take us away?
Oh, that I will. I was hoping I could do that. And you have a godless night.